And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video brought to you by me, D-Drift. And if I sound off a little bit, it's because I'm sick. I'm still sick. So today, I found this video of the Nutty Putty cave tragedy, and they finally released some footage from the tragedy. And I'm here to react to it. And if you haven't seen or anything or know about the Nutty Cave tragedy, this man, John Edward Jones, went into Nutty Putty caves and was going to have a fun day with his family before Thanksgiving. And he got stuck in Nutty Putty Caves and he could not get out for anything. He spent over 24 hours in the cave and he could never get out. He sadly passed away in the cave and they had to seal the cave off with his body inside. They couldn't get him out and he's still there to this day. And they put a plaque in front of the cave where they sealed it off to honor him and give a proper gravesite to him, basically. And that is a tragic story, and I was very shocked to hear all the details of it when I was looking into it. And now they finally released the footage to it, and this happened in 2009, so this was about over, I think that was like about 15 years ago. So yeah, but now they released the footage and let's see it. And before that, if like you guys could very much appreciate it, go and see the other video originally if you guys want to, and give them a like as well because they have this. So let's get into this.
Pretty much as wide as I am,
And
level tall.
you can see how
So the rod
claustrophobic
come
this
around the
is.
corner,
This
then I have
looks,
to go feet first because you have to go down this head first.
yeah, like this is very claustrophobic. Like you can see how tight it is. That's John Jones, John Edward Jones.
The top of his feet are about
Oh,
maybe 1.5 to 2 feet below my feet right now.
In November of
I can't do
2009,
that.
a group of
Yeah, November.
explorers entered one of Utah's most popular underground cave systems for what was meant to be a bonding experience.
Yes.
But deep inside the cave's narrow, twisting passages, one tragic mistake triggered a desperate fight for survival,
Yeah, exactly.
leading to one of the most extensive rescue operations ever attempted.
Real picture. Oh.
The following is based on official police
Yes, it
records,
is.
as well as public statements and interviews from family members and individuals involved in the
For all informations, okay. Yeah. Mark copyright. Okay.
rescue effort. The footage has never been seen before until now.
Mm-hmm.
In 2009, 26-year-old medical student John Edward Jones traveled from Virginia.
Wait. I thought he was I thought he was 29. Okay, so he's 26, so he's a couple years older. That is insane. He died so young. I'm so sorry for him and his family.
To his home state of Utah for the Thanksgiving holiday, accompanied by his wife Emily and their 1-year-old daughter. On November 24th, his brother Josh,
just for
and
saying,
9 other friends and family
I think he had another
members
kid on the
set out
way
to
as
explore
well.
a popular cave system, never imagining that one of them would never make it out.
Dude, which is
In
crazy.
1960, an explorer named Dale Green discovered the hydrothermal cave located west of Utah.
Oh, he discovered it.
Due to the soft, putty-like texture of the clay lining its narrow passages, he named it the Nutty Putty Cave.
I know for a fact that it was supposed to also be called Funny Putty. I think that was supposed to be called Funny Putty. Like, you know that toy? Oh no, it's Silly Putty. That's what he's saying right there, Silly Putty. Yeah, but it was supposed to be that. So yeah. So originally that was the thing, but then he changed it to Nutty Putty.
To the children's toy Silly Putty.
Wait.
He named it the Nutty Putty Cave, a nod to the children's toy Silly Putty.
Yeah, but
afterward, it became one of Utah's most popular underground systems, seeing as many as 6,000 groups of explorers each year.
6,000 to go down there?
Scouts. But
oh,
as
okay,
time
Boy
passed,
Scouts.
the
That makes
cave's
sense.
dangers became impossible to ignore, and rescue calls grew more frequent. In 2004, 16-year-old Brock Clark was trapped
I know this story
for
too.
nearly 14 hours.
Nearly in the same spot.
But ultimately survived the harrowing ordeal. 2 years later, the cave entrance was gated off, and new restrictions required permits for entry. To obtain a permit, at least one person in each group was required to have prior caving experience, a measure intended to prevent tragedy. But on November 24th, 2009, as 26-year-old John Jones, his brother, and their friends made their way into the cave system, tragedy was about to unfold.
Yeah.
According to police records, it was around 9:30 p.m. when Josh...
And for the record, there's also videos of inside the caves of other cavers before this happened. So if you want to see that, like, just Google Nutty Putty Caves, and you'll find like the videos, mostly John Edward Jones videos, but you'll find the inside of the cave, especially near the place where he probably got stuck, but not exactly there.
Jones contacted local authorities for help, telling them his brother John had gotten stuck inside the cave. Though Josh and John were both experienced cavers and had been inside Nutty Putty Cave before,
Yeah,
a critical mistake had left John trapped in
older
one
now.
of the most horrifying situations imaginable. While attempting to navigate a well-mapped section of the cave known as the Birth Canal, named for its extremely narrow passageway,
which is like
John
this
took a
big,
wrong
like
turn and entered an unmapped section of tunnel near an area called Ed's Push.
Yep.
John likely believed that if he kept moving forward, he would eventually have enough room to turn around. When he reached a small opening, John crawled headfirst into the sloped passage, not realizing
he was stuck at a 70-degree angle, which honestly would suck. Like that. What am I saying? That is awful. 100% awful. Like, you can't, like, you're gonna be, like, your organs are pressing down on you. It's gonna be hard to breathe. It's, like, your blood flow is not getting to your legs, your whole body. It's just rushing to your head. That is, like, awful. That's actually an old form of torture that they used to use in the, I don't know what it was, but they used it in the early, I think it wasn't during the Vikings or anything. It was called inverse hanging, where they hang you upside down.
It was a dead end. Horrifically, John slipped into the tunnel and became trapped. According to police records, the constriction point John passed through was estimated to measure just 10 by 18 inches.
10 by 18 inches. That's not much bigger than like your average monitor. Like, heck, that's like almost the size of like if you get a 13-inch iPad, you would just honestly, like, that would be most of the covering right there. That's how, like, just to put it in perspective, like, how close it is. It's just a little bit bigger than an iPad screen. That's how crazy small this thing is.
An angle of more than 70 degrees, tilted onto his left side with his left arm trapped beneath him. It was the same area where a teenage boy had been rescued years earlier, but at roughly 6 feet tall and over 200 pounds, John would be far more difficult to free.
This is so sad.
By the time emergency crews arrived, he'd already been trapped for nearly an hour, and time was
the first one to arrive was Susie Matola.
The first rescue team to descend into the cave reached John at 12:38 a.m. on November 25th, nearly 4 hours after he first became stuck. John appeared to be in good condition, and to their knowledge had sustained no physical trauma. However, the only part of John that rescuers could see or access were his feet and part of his calves. The ceiling was so low that any attempt to raise John meant his feet would hit the ceiling after lifting him only a few inches.
And they would,
rescue teams worked tirelessly through the night.
I don't want to spoil too much for you, but you will get a gist of how, like, your knees bend the other way. Just think of, like, don't bend the other way, so just think of that. Think of what they have to do for that.
By John's side and talking to him to keep him calm. But as the hours dragged on, little progress was made in freeing him, and time was quickly running out.
That cave, it's so small, that area.
John was trapped in was placing extreme strain on his body.
Like I said to you guys
earlier, as confidence in his rescue began to wane, exhausted search and rescue teams requested more personnel and resources.
Also, the cave was very warm. It's like more warmer.
13 hours of failed rescue attempts. Cave explorer Brandon Kowalis received a call alerting him that a rescue operation was underway. Brandon, a cartographer who mapped much of the Nutty Putty cave system, was part of a volunteer group called Utah Cave Rescue. By the time Brandon and the rest of the volunteer team arrived, rescuers were attempting to pull John free using a 4-to-1 pulley system. A series of videos recorded by the rescue team.
Pretty much as wide as I am, double tall.
Yeah, that's
Susie. Rob come around the corner there, has to go feet first, because you have to go down this head first.
Okay, oh wait.
This comes around a corner to your right.
So he's going down feet first, she's going down head first.
And after that, it slopes off and to the left, which is where John is.
Oh, okay, so she's already know where she is.
Got one line going to Rob, another line to John.
There's such limited space in that tunnel.
Up to a cam.
But the cave's layout created a major problem.
Yeah, it's like a maze.
Several twists and turns separated John from the nearest chamber that was large enough for rescuers to stand, and every bend created a friction point. Even with pulleys in place, the rope
Dang.
tightened against rocks and corners
What?
so severely that
Oh,
the
yeah,
whole
it's like
system
cutting,
became
right?
ineffective. But the worst setback was still to
What?
come.
Tension on who?
Tension?
How much?
Tension on who?
I think I'll probably be able to get enough.
Yeah, the rope's creaking.
So it goes from that anchor where Susie is,
Oh, is that Susie?
How much more, Rob?
down, and then up again.
Okay, so are they going that way or the other way?
Which I'll attempt to shimmy myself down.
Okay, yeah, they're going that way. So they're going like in like the downwards position right there.
Turn it around one more time. Looking up.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can just see how like restricted Nutty Putty is with
Hold
this
on a
footage. That's crazy.
Okay. So out of that. And then the rope continues up that way.
These people are so brave for going down there.
Hold on, take a video.
Like,
So
I respect them a lot for that. 'Cause, like,
right there.
going down there in a restricted
There's a
space like
redirect
that.
right there. Up there. Russell? Yeah. Goes up to Russell.
Okay. Hold tension.
Hold tension.
Are they trying to move
Brandon's
the rope?
colleague, Ryan Schertz, managed to reach John and brought him a pouch filled with Gatorade, lowering a tube down so he could drink. Ryan would later recall
Okay,
John
so
shifting
he's right
between
there.
calm and coherent conversation to helpless, panicked thrashing.
Yeah, I think
To
it's
keep
because
him
of blood
focused on
flow.
survival, Ryan asked him about his family. He later remembered John speaking about his wife, Emily, and sharing a secret.
His wife
She
is
was
his
pregnant
Yes,
with
I
their
knew it.
second child.
That's crazy. I feel so sorry.
Anchor
about
here.
that. I'm pretty.
Not folded in.
I'm pretty sure that she named her son after John. And if you guys want to know more as well, there's also this movie called The Last Ascent, which is about the Nutty Putty Cave tragedy, but it's not really, it doesn't really go into full detail or anything, but it at least gives you a perspective if you want to know. So I would recommend watching The Last Ascent. I'm pretty sure it's on Tubi if you guys want to see that. So I'm pretty sure it'll be free for you guys to watch. The Last Ascent doesn't fully do justice because it doesn't say how many people were in the cave. There was about like 15 or 20 people that went with John, but there was only him and his brother. But it primarily focused on them because they were the main people who were trying to help him. But I'm not going to spoil too much of the movie, but if you want to get a good gist of it, I recommend The Last Ascent. Just to get a gist of the story. If you don't want to like see like full stories.
To Rob there. This is the line to the to John. Goes around the corner and then down.
Just to make sure I'm not lying, I want to just Google the movie quickly just to make sure. Okay, The Last Ascent. Oh, it's actually free to watch on YouTube, so you can just watch it there. So if you have Netflix, yeah, Peacock or any of this stuff, you can watch The Last Ascent. So you can watch it on HBO Max, you can watch it on Disney Plus, Amazon Prime Video. Well, I'm pretty sure Amazon Prime Video you have to subscribe to. Oh, actually, yeah, it does say Tubi right there, Tubi. So you could and Pluto TV, so you can watch it there too.
By 3 p.m., John had been trapped for 18 hours, and the
And I'm
anger
not
was
being promoted to say
unforgiving.
that, by the way.
Gravity was likely forcing blood into his head and placing immense strain on his heart and lungs. Rescuers who were keeping John company described him as fading in and out of consciousness,
Yeah, like the
reporting
blood
that he had
flow is
begun
really
to talk
bad.
about seeing angels and demons around him.
Wow.
His
Okay, I did
family
not hear that
described
part.
John, a devout member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, as a man of unwavering faith.
Because
According to police records,
he is from
the
Utah.
family,
Utah
including
people are very
John's wife,
religious as
remained
well.
outside as the rescue efforts
But
went
again,
on.
that's also any person of faith would.
To police records, the family, including John's wife, remained outside as the rescue efforts went on.
And yes, the entrance.
Arrangements were made to allow communication
Okay, so
between
yeah.
John.
So here's the entrance of Nutty Putty Cave, and then there it goes on to a side part. So imagine this is part here as the surface. This is going down. This is the big slide here. and then up here is like another area that you explore. But honestly, like this is the true challenging area. Like this is the birth canal. I think this is the vein alley, the aorta crawl, all that.
And his wife Emily, as it seemed that when John heard her voice, he would try to help himself get out of the cave. Efforts to free him depended largely on his ability to help maneuver his own body out of the fissure. If he lost consciousness and could no longer assist, any real hope of getting him out would be lost.
It is. It would have been better if he's conscious so he could tell like how like to help him. But again, I'm not a professional in this.
Tension on Rob. More tension on Rob. Okay. So we have
we need both.
an anchor here.
That rock looks so like it's being wrapped around. That does not look safe to me. But again, I'm not a professional, so it is probably strong.
And the 4-to-1 system right above me, right here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Got a 3-to-1 system for hauling.
We got beaters with that system.
And we're going to rig another system for hauling Rob.
Alright.
You can actually, stay high.
I've got Brian up
You
there
want it attached through this?
taking care of things on Rob's line.
Either there or here. Oh, that one right there, I guess, is what we're going to set
We
up.
have enough pulleys to keep us from rubbing
The other crossing?
on the rock.
At 4 p.m., after almost 19 hours trapped in the crevice,
Oh.
rescue teams reported that John had been moved a couple of feet with the aid of the 4-to-1 rope system.
Yeah, 19 hours. I can't imagine how painful he must have went through. I feel so sorry for him. No human deserves this.
Finally, Ryan was able to see through a crack and give John eye contact with another human for the first time in nearly a full day.
Yeah.
But without warning, the
Oh,
equipment
yeah.
catastrophic.
Oh yeah, I know this. What happens to Ryan? It is not pretty. I'm not gonna say it. You're gonna hear it. But yeah, just listen.
Failed. 2 cords tied around a rock formation suddenly snapped, sending a steel carabiner flying loose and striking rescuer Ryan Schertz in the face, temporarily
Ooh.
knocking him unconscious. At the same moment,
Yeah.
John slipped back into the crevice, undoing hours of effort.
Apparently, he went
Due
even
to Ryan's
deeper.
injury, he was forced to leave the cave,
Then
though
Ryan's
rescue
dad came
attempts
in.
continued on. Eventually, Brandon Kowalis headed down to make contact with John.
Okay, recording again. Brandon going down through another one of the holes.
This is one of the wider spots.
Oh, they got Brandon. I'm pretty
Still
sure.
shots, you can take still shots too.
I figure we'll take some still shots of the patient.
You're going to take stills on the way out.
I'll take some still shots of him. Yeah, it's so dark.
Yeah, those lights are not doing too much justice for that much. Honestly, they can't bring too much equipment because it's so restricted.
He has
Yeah.
to make his way up through a narrow. If I can do my light, it helps.
Come and shut off.
Whoops. I just gotta get it aimed so it doesn't aim at the camera, it aims above it.
Wow.
This is going up about 45 degrees.
45 degrees up. We're still quite a ways from the patient.
What happened there?
Try to get the light. You see the air hose is going through.
Air hoses. So they must. So those must be really
Stop
long.
the camera for a sec so I can get up.
Like this
Okay,
stuff is not
Brandon
short. All
leading the
these
way,
things,
going
like
in.
all these wired, all that.
We're starting to get
Your shoulder.
tighter. We still have about 25, 30 feet to go from here. We already have low battery showing.
Oh, you got low battery?
Yeah, want to switch it out right now?
Yeah, might as well. Just come up and switch it out.
You can have them shut off the air compressor.
All right.
Double A's.
We got 26 minutes and 40 seconds of film.
Though John had entered the crevice head first, leaving his feet and calves exposed, Brandon went down feet first, his legs eventually making contact with John's.
Okay.
So the victim is probably about the top of his feet are about maybe 1.5 to 2 feet below my feet right now. And,
So half a meter.
So you're standing straight up right now, right?
I'm laying, standing. It's pretty steep here. It's like maybe 60 or 70 degrees. But yeah, to get through, we would have to probably take this whole chunk off right here, which is...
I'll back up and show
So
them.
like that area right there,
My
like this
legs
general.
So right
barely
here.
fit through this where he came through, and this is where they've drilled out more.
And the space that you have to drill.
And in case if you can't see, like I'm just hang on, just gonna right here, right there. See, it says actual case footage. So just so that you know, that's right behind me.
My foot right here.
Is,
My foot's bigger than the hole.
yeah. So to hit it at an angle, and you could maybe come down in here and drill, but it's going to wear somebody out pretty quick.
The way of like
And this
those,
is
like
just
it's hard to
part
get
you still
those
have
chunks
all the
out.
way about, let's see, I'm about 5'8", so probably about 6 or 7 feet beyond this, where you,
Okay.
you have to,
So-
and it's drilling through the smooth stuff, so to get a good angle on it, and it's really
Very
hard rock.
difficult.
Yeah,
You've been drilling, right, Brandon?
yeah.
So you know how hard it's been because you've actually been on the drill.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a piece of cake, and sometimes the rock is super hard, and you can't get through
Yeah,
it.
it's like play consistency,
Trying
but
to
up
turn
there
around
it's probably
here.
harder and like
You
rougher,
back
like
up.
natural rock.
Oh, it's too dark. You can see where we gotta go back up through that crack.
Right there where the
There's
air hoses
Brandon
are.
again. In the hole. See? He has to go feet first.
Not too wide. Here's the...
Not too wide, but we're still in a pretty
Is that a drill?
good position. As we go down, it gets narrower and tighter.
Man,
I'll stop until we make progress.
it's hard to
Once
believe
the
that two
drill
people could fit
arrived,
there.
Brandon, along with 2 other rescue team members, spent about an hour and a half chipping away in an effort to widen the passage. But due to the angle, the effort was slow going.
Okay,
So,
I am flat on my back, closest wall. I tilt the camera down. You can see.
This is where we widened out. We took out from here to right about here, so about
so they took out a like a chunk.
5 inches
maybe.
here, and then a section here, and this was soft, and this was pretty hard
Right.
to knock off, but this was soft and fairly easy to drill through.
Yeah, I
And
can
this
see like
is-
the
this
nutty
is
part.
the easiest place to drill. From here, it just gets about 10 times harder.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's the easiest place to drill. They're knocked off quite a bit right
5
there.
inches in about an hour and a half,
5 inches in about an hour and a half.
where it's easy to get to.
And that's the easiest place to get to. It just gets worse from there. And we're still a little ways from the feet of the patient.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go. Brandon's going to position himself because you have to go down only one way. From here, I'll pass the camera to him if he wants. He'll be able to use it down there.
It kinks my side.
Remember, just to be safe.
Brandon was able to stabilize himself by jamming his body into a narrower section of the crack,
But he jammed
allowing
what?
him to speak with John. But once he
So he
introduced
twisted
himself,
into-
he received no response.
Yeah, he was
According
a
to his
medic.
account of events,
So,
Brandon was able
yeah.
to tap John on the leg and could hear him breathing a deep, gurgling breath,
Oh,
as though his
twist up.
lungs
Oh.
were filling with fluid.
Yeah.
Then
Oh.
John began making frantic small kicks with his feet, but after a second, he stopped. According to Brandon,
Oh.
this was likely the moment that 26-year-old John Jones passed away. After 27 hours trapped
Yeah.
upside down, the strain on
Very
his
fast
body
switch.
was simply too much.
Yeah,
A paramedic-
I'm pretty sure he passed away from cardiac arrest, which is basically a heart attack if you don't know. But yeah, that is. I feel so sorry for him. Like his family, I really hope his wife well his widow is doing well. His family, his brother, his dad, his mom, as well as his children. That's just very awful what happened to him. And let's just continue the rest of the story, but I just want to say that.
Dick would later crawl through the treacherous tunnels and claustrophobic passageways to confirm his death.
Yeah, see,
4 minutes to midnight at 11:56 p.m. on November 25th, 2009, John was pronounced deceased. Following this
And
tragic confirmation,
and just to tell you how they pronounce it, they got a pulse from the back of his leg. So like right in the where his leg was, they got a pulse. They couldn't read it. There was no heartbeat. That's what happened. So yeah, and the reason why I'm so interested in this stuff is because like I seen like scary story. Well, not but like interesting stories. I'm just a person who likes facts and stuff. Like, but yeah, like this is insane.
authorities determined it was best to leave John's body in the cave.
Just to
In
rewind back.
2009, John was pronounced deceased. Following this tragic confirmation, authorities determined it was best to leave John's body in the cave,
Yep.
rather than risk more lives in an attempt to recover him. While the decision was not well received, John's family ultimately decided they were at peace with leaving John's body inside, as long as the cave would be permanently closed. On December 1st,
Yes.
2009, explosives were placed in the cave and detonated, causing a
Blocking
collapse
it.
of the main passageway leading to the body of John Jones.
And
The
with
following day,
concrete.
the same personnel returned and cemented the opening of Nutty Putty Cave, sealing it from the public. According to his family, John was in his second year of medical school at the University of Virginia
He
in
was a-
Charlottesville.
He was just a college
He
student,
planned and was working toward becoming a pediatric cardiologist.
a doctor.
Following the cave's closure, the
He
family
was
mounted
going
a
to be a kid's
memorial
doctor.
plaque which reads, "Our beloved John passed away at this site. He was a loving father, a kind husband, a loyal son, and a true and cherished friend. We miss you and love you always." A second plaque placed by the family thanks and honors the rescuers who worked tirelessly to free John. The final line reads, "We invite all who visit John's final resting place to enjoy and respect this sacred space." Emily later gave birth to a son, who she named John in her husband's memory.
Exactly. Mr. Beast. But yeah, that is
He later gave
that is awful. What happened to him? I'm very sorry. I really hope that his family is doing well, and they are like, well, I hope his family's doing well. His wife's doing well, his widow, and his two children. And apparently, I also heard in the movie that his son, named after him, apparently looks a lot like him. So, that is unique right there. But anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy this. Please make sure to go check out the original video. It's very much appreciated for them. And also, if you want to be more well versed into this, like, and know more about it, there's a couple of videos you can just like watch on YouTube. There's also the movie, like I said. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out, bye guys. Bye.